This episode is brought to you by the Slash and Cast Podcast Network. Learn more at slashandcast.net.
Welcome back to the Crystal Lake Soldiers podcast. My name's Isaiah, joined as always by Mark, Sean, and Ted. How are you guys doing this weekend?
Pretty good, man.
Happy, 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 happy.
Oh, that's great. God, it's been a good week. It's been a good week. We got a fun show for tonight. We're going to be reviewing Ice Cream Man from 1995, starring Clint Howard. That was an interesting movie. We'll get into that here in just a little bit, though. But before we get into all that, what have you guys been up to this week?
Watching a lot of TV and movies for a change, man. I got to finish the Cobra Kai season 2 and still impressed and was like, holy shit at the end, because I thought they killed Miguel, honestly, the way he fell.
Yeah, I did too.
Be alive.
I thought that's why they hung on the shot of him falling for so long.
Dude, I was like, damn, that motherfucker's gone. But
when he hit that railing, man, that freaking hurt me.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, no kidding.
Lucky to be alive, dude.
I don't gasp a lot out loud when I'm watching something, but when that happened, I was just like, holy crap.
That was crazy, dude. And Kreese is an asshole, of course. We all knew that was going to happen. But
fuck that guy.
It was so great, man. I can't wait till 3. I hope, all this hype just keeps it going for several more seasons, man.
Bring back
something good to watch. Yeah.
I have a strong feeling that's who was in the trailer. That,
yeah, dude. I watched the thing that kind of, they really broke down that couple of seconds, and they were showing the pictures in the background and everything. One of them was, the actual real Miyagi. But anyways, what else? Oh, I watched Runaway Train with John Voight and Eric Roberts. I don't know if y'all have seen that. That's a movie I've always liked. I got the Blu-ray now. So, and I watched The Shed, which is a trailer we watched a while back.
Yeah.
Different kind of vampire movie, man. Honestly, it was really slow to start off, but it's in the last 30, 40 minutes was pretty fucking cool. So, if I had to give it a rating, I'd say probably 3 stars.
Okay.
It's not great, but it's worth checking out because of the ending. Not the best acted movie, but it was all right, man. Different take on the vampire thing. So, and I watched Karate Kid because Cobra Kai. I mean, wanting to watch all those. I only got to watch the first one. It was fun, man. And I started this HBO show called Raised by Wolves, which Ridley Scott directed the first 2 episodes of. It's different, man. I don't know how to, it's basically Earth has been destroyed because the atheists and the religious went to war. And the atheists use androids as their war machines. Basically, these 2 androids, mother and father, land on this planet, and they have all these embryos, and they raise them, and only one of them ends up surviving. And about around the time, it's 8-9 years later, the arc of the humans and the religious have showed up to this planet. And
okay.
All kinds of crazy hell breaks loose, man. It's pretty good. It's different, but I like it. And I watched 3 or 4 episodes of it, which is not something I do. So it's worth checking out for sure, man.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, so we've been watching, like I said, the Child's Play movies. We finally got to watch Bride of Chucky, and it's really funny because, like I said, Jennifer hadn't seen them all, and she's seen Bride of Chucky before, but she's never seen Seed of Chucky. And at the end of the movie, it was really funny because the baby came out of Tiffany, and she said, well, whatever happened to that? I never heard of Chucky having a kid before. I said, it's because it was so terrible. They didn't continue with it. And it's funny because I was debating on whether, because if it was just me watching them all, I would have skipped Seed altogether.
Yeah.
But I feel like I still need to watch it with her just so she can see it. And
Yeah, so you can say, look at how shitty this is.
Right.
And hope to God they don't like it.
Been watching The Office a lot lately.
Okay.
I didn't realize there were so many seasons. I'd watched it many fucking years ago, and I thought I'd seen them all, but apparently I haven't. Playing a lot of Tony Hawk, man. That game has got me so nostalgic. And it's really funny because you saying that watching Cobra Kai made you want to watch Karate Kid, and I was telling Isaiah last night that this movie's making me want to watch Lords of Dogtown so bad.
Yeah, that's a good one, man. I have that, and I got the documentary of the real shit too, man. I like to throw both those in once in a while. It's a good story.
That was like the Z Boys from Dogtown or something like that.
Yeah,
exactly. That was really good. I really like how they revitalized this, but they kept so much of it the same. Like all of the tracks are the same, but they are so much better rendered. They've, like, if you look at the side by side comparison, there's a real bad I don't know what you call it, like the limitation of the screen where at the certain point there's a fog and you can't see the rest of the map.
Yep.
I think they call it pop in or something like that.
Something like that.
But there's none of that on this, and they've even added in beautiful fucking backdrops, like outside of the limitations of the map, like the Venice Beach map. It's like sunset, and it's so fucking beautiful, and you see all the sailboats in the background. It's awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait to pick that one up, man. That looks fun.
It is fun, man. I'm going through the challenges with all the skaters, trying to max them all out right now. And one thing I really like about, I don't remember enough playing the old ones, but on this one, even when you max out all the skaters, they still skate like they have their own strengths and weaknesses. Like
that's cool. Yeah.
For me, Rodney Mullen's always been my favorite character because he's so good at the grinds and the manuals and the flips, which is what I like to do because that's how I build up my combos and shit.
Yep.
Yeah, I think everybody's always had like their favorite skater with those games because like the original one, when I originally played, I always used Rune Gilfberg was the skater I always used.
He's good with the grinds and the flips too.
Mm-hmm.
I just finished his, and when you get all the stats for all the characters, you unlock their skate video, and he's got one of the best ones, I think.
Yeah.
I always like Rodney Mullen just because I liked him anyways.
Yeah, I was a huge Rodney Mullen fan. Like he's so iconic to the sport. I mean, the man, he invented the fucking kickflip.
Yeah.
Exactly. Half the other shit than the street skaters do.
Yeah, like I was watching a guy on YouTube today, and he was like breaking down some of his tricks, and there's like some tricks that Rodney Mullen did that people have not been able to recreate in 20 years.
Like they still can't do half the shit he's done. It's great, man. And just when he talks, man, like he's an interesting dude for sure.
And I was watching more from the same guy, and he was talking about Tony Hawk and how Tony Hawk had the record for the 900. And how people have gone so far and beyond. Like there's a kid this year that did like a 1080 or something like that. But Tony Hawk still holds the record because he did it in a half pipe and everybody else is doing mega ramps and shit. So he still holds this record for the 900.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Sean White kept trying to do the 1080s in the half pipe, man. He comes so close, but he never was able. I don't think he was ever able to hit it. Yeah, Tony, I remember when he did that shit. That was awesome, man.
Yeah, and they showed a clip of him. He still could do it at 48, and he's like, I want to say he's like 50 or 51 now or something like that.
That was my favorite part when he did it. It was like all you guys skating all these years and all these people, man. He comes back and he fucking hits the 900. Like,
yeah.
he gets a lot of flack sometimes in this, and he's like him. As far as the pipe, I always thought he's the legend, and then Rodney Mullen as far as the street, man. Like you can't get those two They're the best. They always have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in the sport, like skaters are like shunned and hated on so bad if they leave and make money outside of skating. Like if they start their own company or they do something else. Like Bam Margera was hated for doing his reality show, and
Tony
Tony
Hawk,
Hawk.
his dad like ran the skate parks when he was a kid. Like he was already the rich kid who had the dad that owned skate parks. So he already was. He couldn't get shit. He wasn't the bad boy so much. That's what everybody likes. You know?
Yeah. Well, that was how it pretty much. Well, it started being like a. I don't know how to put it other than like something really lame. The way skateboarding was starting, and then the surfers came in and completely changed the sport.
Changed it all. So.
Yeah. It's got a really interesting history, and now it was supposed to be in the Olympics this year, and then
Everything
COVID
happened.
canceled the Olympics. But yeah, that's pretty much been my week. Mostly Tony Hawk, been playing the fuck out of that.
Yeah. Cool. What about you, Ted? What have you been up to this week?
Besides work, just watched some movies. Watched Monday, since it was Labor Day, I had the day off. Watched the Fright Night 2011 remake for the first time, and I really liked it. A lot of fun. I enjoyed everybody in it, all the characters. I actually like this version of Evil Ed. I can't stand the original version of Evil Ed. I guess I know I'm in the minority in that, but that's just my opinion.
I'm with you.
And then right after that, I watched the Fright Night 2 New Blood, which came out in 2013. And it's not a sequel to the remake. It's just another remake that they slapped the name Fright Night 2 on there, which, okay, whatever. And it was just a lame remake compared to the first remake. Some things that I like, I liked Friday Night 2 New Blood sucks. Never mind.
In the first remake they did, I liked the one area where they had them all buried. That ending scene when they went to kill him. I remember that being pretty
That was cool, yeah. There's some... I can't even really pinpoint it out. Like, it's not an awful movie. It's just a lame Fright Night movie. And it's just another remake. And, the plot of that one, the kids, the class, Charlie and his friends, they were on some class trip in Romania. They took a page from the original Fright Night 2, and this time Jerry is female. And they spell her name with a Gerri. And basically her whole plot is to become a super vampire where she can walk around in the sun. But the way to do it is really convoluted, and I'm just like, what? You have to do this, but then you have to do... And it didn't make sense to me. And anyway, I stopped caring because I just didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
That's something they try to do in vampire movies. I mean, it sounds like it would be something that was cool, but I don't know, man. I always felt like the badass old vampire who's lived thousands of years and is still running shit was more impressive than someone who needs to try to walk in the daytime.
Yeah, that was basically the first remake. Still, it was just Jerry just doing his thing, And but this female Jerry is just stupid. I mean, they added a cool. The cool thing was the little origin for her. She is Elizabeth. What's her face? Who bathed in blood? They made this, and the whole backstory's told like in a comic book style. It was pretty cool. But like Peter Vincent in this version is a lame ghost hunter show host, and he just sucks. the dude from the 2011 remake, he was Doctor Who for a couple of years. He did a great job in that remake. But yeah. I finished the Karate Kid franchise with Next Karate Kid also this past week. Just had to finish it.
Yeah.
Watched that, and then this weekend I watched one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life, and that's Blood Hook. I hate this movie. Jeez,
I've seen it, man. It's not that great.
It took me 3 sittings to get through the whole thing. Why is this movie an hour and 50 minutes long? Why is it a 2-hour movie? everybody, gosh, I hated all the characters. I wanted everybody in this movie to die, even the little kids. I just did not care. It was lame. If it was meant to be like a funny movie, then it failed. If it was meant to be a straight horror film, it definitely failed. I just, gosh.
See, and this is
the first 40 minutes. What's that?
I was just going to say, this is where me and Ted differ for once on movies. Usually we're pretty spot on, like with what we like and what we don't like. We're usually pretty in line, but this one I thought was fun. But I totally get where you're coming from with it, because it's definitely not a movie for everybody.
I was thinking it was going to be fun because, I don't think there's ever been a slasher film that takes place during a fishing competition. So I was like, this could be cool and fun, But it was so lame and boring. Oh man, after the first 40 minutes, I had to stop it.
Yeah.
Because I was just so bored. And I ended up like taking a nap, and then I watched like 30 more minutes, and then I was like, I'm done for the day. It made me not want to watch any more movies the rest of the weekend. That's how bad it was. I don't want to watch any more movies right now.
That's bad, because normally I have to just go back and watch something to cleanse my palate. Something I know I love. I
was like, I don't even think I could put in another movie or go to. I didn't even go on from Netflix this weekend. I can't do anything. So I popped in Married with Children and just was like, just something to entertain me.
Yeah.
And then I finally finished it this morning after I woke up. I was like, fine, I'll finish the last 40 minutes. And I was just like, gosh, I'm just glad I'm done with it. I think it's ironic, too, that the guy who directed it was also the producer for Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't they show your movie on that show?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So, pretty much that was my weekend.
Okay.
Or my week.
Nice. Well, my whole week's been a fucking whirlwind. I mean, I've had so much going on this week. Obviously, I sold my house, which was, in the process of selling it. Somebody made an offer, which ended up accepting. So as long as their financing goes through, I should be house-free and debt-free by the middle of next month, which will be nice. And then to kind of celebrate with that, I ended up buying myself Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 as a little treat, a little celebration for that happening. So I've been playing a lot of Tony Hawk this week. Oh, not a lot. I've maybe played 4 or 5 hours, which I guess you could still say is kind of a lot, seeing as that's been in the last 3 or 4 days. So I've been doing that. I obviously watched Ice Cream Man to get ready for tonight. I watched The Babysitter Killer Queen last night, which if you've seen The Babysitter from 2017 with Samara Weaving and everything, it's a sequel to that. It's quick review. It's not as good as that. It's still fun. It's still a fun movie. I still say check it out, especially if you have Netflix, because, I mean, it's not going to cost you anything. You may like it, you may not. I could see where it could go either way with this one, because it's definitely not as good as the first one. I still had fun with it, though. There was still a lot of fun moments with it. It still, continued the story from the first one. And I think for a sequel, it did an all right job. I mean, it
looks okay. I almost checked it out this week, and then I just never got to it.
Yeah, it's not going to win any awards or anything like that, obviously. But it's if you got an hour and a half to kill, it's not a bad way to spend an hour and a half. I don't think. Just go in there with low expectations, and you should probably have a fun time watching it. So that's my 2 cents regarding that movie. So beyond that, other than that, I've been watching Shameless. I got stuck on watching Shameless, and oh my god, this is the first time I've watched Shameless, so I kind of went into it blind.
Oh, it's so fucking good, man. The U.S. version, right?
Yes, the William H. Macy version. Oh my god, every episode there's a fucking sex scene. Number one. On top of that, these people are just
that tones down a lot throughout the show.
Oh, does it? Good. Because it gets a little overwhelming at times, where it's like every episode there's another just big old sex scene. But on top of that, you got these people that are just like trash, and they're stealing and doing all this other stuff. And obviously, the father's a drunk and not really a father. I mean, it's It's just a train wreck, and I fucking love it. I've gone through about 2.5 seasons already in the last week and a half. Yeah, 2.5 seasons. So I'm knee deep in it right now. So I'm
Who's
enjoying
your
that a
favorite
lot.
character?
Oh God,
I love Kev.
Kev is great. Yes, he's like the big dumb goof. I do love Kev. Actually, I like Lip too. Lip is pretty good.
That might change, but
Okay. All right. Well, then it'll probably be Kev after that then. Yeah, Kev's pretty good though. But yeah, other than that, I haven't really been watching a whole lot. Just mostly trying to get things ready with selling this house and whatnot, and kind of working on some artwork for some upcoming episodes of the podcast, which will be a lot of fun, especially going into the Halloween season. That's going to be great fun. I'm really looking forward to next month with regards to doing the podcast. But yeah, I mean, other than that, it's been kind of a chill week actually for once, because with getting the offer on the house, I haven't had like any showings obviously since then. So it's been nice to not have to leave my house 4 times a day for showings and being able to just be at home on my days off and just relax. It's been tough doing that for the last few weeks, just not really being able to be home and constantly having to clean, constantly having to make sure everything is like tip-top perfect condition. It's
At least you did, man. Not everybody does that shit.
yeah.
yeah. Well, it's helpful when I'm the only one here.
So.
Right? Yeah. So I'm glad that this is it's like I can see the light at the end of the tunnel with this. And then with moving at the end of this week, that's going to be great too. Just getting into that apartment, and then this place will be empty. And once it sells, then I'm just done with it then. So that's going to be good. So closing date's supposed to be like the 19th of next month. So about a month away. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that to be done, and then to have some money to pay off my debt and probably take some trips next year besides Texas Frightmare. So that'll be fun. But kind of moving on from there, just a little bit of news I wanted to touch on before we get into the review of Ice Cream Man. Just a couple things that kind of came up this week. So, number one, if you haven't had the chance to see Friday the 13th, the original movie, in the theaters, you have the ability to do that this October. So, on October 4th and 7th, Fathom Events is actually bringing back Friday the 13th into the theaters for those 2 nights. And on top of showing that in the theaters, they're also going to have a special bonus called Secrets Galore Behind the Gore, Friday the 13th, which is going to be about the effects and makeup effects, and it's going to have Tom Savini in that kind of bonus feature that they're going to be showing on those nights. So that's I haven't been able to see Friday the 13th. This is like the one franchise original movie I haven't seen in the theater yet. So I'm pumped for this because I've always wanted to see this in the theater. So I'm going to get my chance.
That should be good, man. Fathom Events usually does cool stuff. They did Halloween a couple years ago, which I've seen a few times, but it was on my birthday, not last year, but maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. And my favorite that they did Halloween 4 and 5 together as a double feature one year. So
yeah,
they always do something cool, man. They did Land of the Dead once and did an interview with George Romero before, and it was the uncut version or whatever. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah, I've been to a lot of the Fathom stuff. They do a good job.
They really do. Because I know with Fathom Events, I've gone to some different ones. Like when Gene Wilder died, they did one for Willy Wonka and Blazing Saddles. So I went and saw a double feature of that, which
that's awesome.
That's a great double feature to go see.
Yes.
Going from Willy Wonka into Blazing Saddles, that's great.
Willy Wonka's hilarious anyway. So that's a good. I like that.
Yep. And there's been a few other ones, just some random movies that they've done in the past that I've gone and seen for Fathom Events. So they do a good job. And like
They're
you were saying,
Friday 13th next month. Fathom Events. I mean,
yep,
for his 40th anniversary.
Yep. And so that's gonna be great. So that's October 4th and 7th for Friday the 13th. So you can check cinema.com for more information to see if it's playing in a theater near you. I checked and it's definitely playing in mine, so I'm definitely going to go see that on one of those nights. Probably that Wednesday night. I'm going to end up going and see it. Really looking forward to that.
Ooh, Total Recall, October 10th, 13th.
Yeah.
Psycho, October 11th and 12th.
There you go. Next bit of news that came out this week is we know that Scream 5 has been in the works, and David Arquette and Courtney Cox are coming back. They officially got word that Neve Campbell is going to be a part of Scream 5, so that's going to be coming, I think they said January of 2022 is when that's coming, so...
It's just going to be another family member of Sydney.
Is it 2022? I thought it was.
Yeah,
I thought it was next year.
I'm not excited.
I think it was originally supposed to be next year, but they pushed it to January of 2022.
It's going to have the same ending.
Either way,
it's going to have the same ending as 3 and 4. It's going to be another relative who wants to be famous because Sid is famous for surviving.
Maybe.
Or it's Sid going to be the killer, which, who gives a
That's
crap?
what I thought they should have did in 4. But...
Yeah.
I don't care what Ted says. I'm excited to see it.
No Wes Craven. It's going to be a hard sell for me.
Yeah.
I love me some Scream. Well, and it's kind of hard to get him to come back now, isn't it?
True. Very true. It is kind of a hard sell, though, without him being a part of it.
I have the
though.
strongest feeling one of the main reasons that those movies were even slightly entertaining was because of him. So,
Yeah.
So Mark, you're wrong, just like every time you.
How am I wrong? How's he coming back? How am I wrong?
How is he coming back? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Wes Craven. Wes Craven's gone. I mean, geez, you don't come back from that. I mean, geez.
Rest in peace.
Yes, rest in peace, Wes.
Yeah, of course Wes made those movies great. That was his baby, and he said on multiple interviews that he thought Scream was his ultimate movie. Like it was his favorite movie he ever did.
So Scream 5 can definitely not live up to anything. Not even my dog feces outside in the grass.
Jeez.
I'm a fan of Wes, but I was never a big fan of the Scream movies.
Yeah,
I
I've never was
I
him.
either.
disagree with
so
West
much.
on that.
I hated Scream 2, man. I still hate Scream 2. I think that's horrible. Scream 2, I thought.
I don't mind the first one. I can watch the after that though. I'm not
The
big.
first one's fine.
But I will say I've never gave them another chance in a long freaking time.
I love him. Man.
Yeah,
I
love
guess
him
I could
so
try
much.
to suffer through them to see. Yeah, no.
The third
Oh
movie,
man,
My sister loves them. Like I know quite a few people that like them. It tends to be the younger horror crowd, you young bucks with your movies.
well, I mean, I understand. Like 2 wasn't as good, and it's just got that charm to it for me. I mean, I know it's meta, a lot of it's meta, and
Yeah.
that's part of its charm for me. And the whole, like I was talking to Isaiah last night about films within films. I like the whole idea of the Stab franchise within the movie, with the poor man Sidney Prescott as Tori Spelling.
if they don't introduce time travel, then I don't care. Wasn't that one of the things in Scream 4? They said one of the Stab movies had time travel.
I think so. I think so.
So Scream 5 better have freaking time travel in it. They gotta catch up to Stab. They got what, Stab 9, Stab 10, or something like that.
Something.
I haven't watched Scream 4 in a long time.
Yeah, I think I saw that once.
I'm not excited for this. I'm with Sean. I'm not excited.
I saw Scream 4 once, and I was not a fan.
Yeah, that's why I don't have high hopes for this. I mean, maybe it will surprise us. I'm not holding my breath though at all. It is what it is.
Oh, dude, I got the plot. Courtney Cox and Dewey, they broke up in real life, right? Like
Yep.
They divorced or something.
Yeah.
Dude, then the freaking Gale leaves Dewey, and freaking Dewey goes crazy, and he's the killer.
Hey, could
And
happen.
he has a love affair with Sydney because they're sick perverts in Hollywood, so why not? And then and Sydney's like the second killer. And then Gale I don't know. That's all I got so far.
Or dude becomes a pro wrestler.
I was thinking they were going to have something like
it's Hulk Hogan. Get Hulk Hogan.
Roseanne and Hulk Hogan.
There you go.
I'm gonna sleep everyone here, brother.
I was thinking they were going to do something like what I thought they were going to do in 4. I thought they were going to come out and say that Sidney was right in the first movie, that Cotton really did have a big role in murdering his mom, and he was a big part of it the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how that would play out, but that's kind of interesting. You know, he beat the system technically because he got out and he got his book deal and all that shit.
I mean, that could be interesting.
Kill him off in Scream 3.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, what if it's revealed that Sydney helped kill her own mother? She has amnesia.
Oh my god!
You see, this is how
split
stupid this movie
personality.
can be, and it probably will get stupid like that.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but like I said, I don't have high hopes for it.
Well, the other thing that's been teased, and it was teased by Matthew Lillard, so take it for a grain of salt because he's saying maybe Stu isn't really dead, and I'm like, there's no fucking way he's not dead. Dude got fucking electrocuted.
Stu was in Scream 2, or at least Matthew Lillard was.
Yeah.
As an extra.
Yeah.
which seems to be, his career at this point because you don't see him in anything anymore.
That's because he's running his own company.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
He's running a company making premium peripherals for Dungeons and Dragons adventures.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's
he's real big.
He's doing nothing important, is what you just said.
He's real big into Wizard of the Coast. He's big into all that stuff.
Okay.
No, I joke, but I do like Matthew Lillard.
Yeah,
I love Matthew Lillard. He's fucking hilarious.
He's a good guy.
He was the best part of Scream 1, I thought.
I know
what you're talking about. Like the whole thing was like he's what was it like at a convention or something? He said like one of the original ideas for Scream 3 was that Stu was in prison and like manipulating things behind the scenes. And everybody just laughed because Stu is a freaking idiot in the movie.
Yeah.
You fucking hit me with the phone, you dick.
The whole point of Stu being Billy's partner was that Stu is the fall guy because Stu's an idiot. That was the whole point. Billy could get away. Stu got blamed and would take the fall for all the murders. I mean, geez.
Well, Stu also had money, so he could get resources and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of hard, no matter what resources you have, that you murdered a bunch of teenagers in your own community.
Yeah.
No, I meant that's kind of another reason why he was helping Billy. That's another reason why Billy wanted him, because he was stupid and he had money.
Yeah. Yeah, they had a big house.
Yeah.
Of course, everybody had a big house.
I would say all them kids look like they had some money.
Yeah.
Look at Sydney's house. Holy crap.
Right.
Yeah, the poor families were living in 2 stories. Not the neighborhood I grew up in.
Garage is like bigger than my parents' house.
Right.
Come on, Sean. The poor families had a detached garage.
There you go.
They didn't have an attic.
No cable television.
Dark Ages.
Right. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. I'm not holding my breath with regards to Scream 5 because I'm not really excited for it, but we'll see what happens as more information comes along with that. The last thing I kind of want
crossed for you, Mark.
What was that?
We'll keep our fingers crossed for you, Mark.
Yeah.
Exactly. I hope it's good. I'm not like hoping it's bad or anything like that.
Right.
It's not. I don't have high hopes for it.
Yeah.
I mean, when it comes out, I'll check it out. Of course. I mean, I did for Scream 4. I've seen all of them in the theater except for the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen them all in the theater too.
I rented the first one on old VHS back in the day and saw it for the first time like that.
Same.
The rest I saw in the theater. So I mean, I'll check it out whenever it does.
Yeah.
But
Definitely.
if it's bullcrap, I'm going to call it out on its bullcrap. It's like everything else.
Ain't it the truth?
Except Victor Crowley. That movie is freaking awesome.
Yes. That movie was great.
And people could suck on my belly button. So that's my new thing.
Well, those movies have stayed good from the beginning because, Adam Green has maintained control of it the whole time. It didn't pass on to another production company. He
Yep.
didn't have to worry about someone messing with his baby. He's
So I agree with you, but Victor Crowley does seem to get a little bit of flack. So, but I disagree with that flack. So
Same.
Yeah.
It's my second favorite in the franchise. I love Victor Crowley.
I loved it. I thought it was
can
great.
Go with you on that too, man. After part 2,
I also love Tiffany Shepis. So
Mm-hmm.
for many reasons. She's a beautiful woman, and
Yes, she is.
That's a double whammy right there.
That is very true. But anyways, kind of moving on from Scream here, just one last bit of information I just kind of wanted to talk about is we do talk a lot about Vinegar Syndrome on the podcast. They came out with their newsletter this week for everything coming out in October, and holy shit, they've got 8 releases coming out in October alone. And that's just the start, getting ready for the holiday season and everything. But kind of looking at what they've got coming out for next month, they've got another 4K Blu-ray coming out, and this is the one I've been really super excited for, and that's Deadly Games, or otherwise known as Dial Code Santa Claus. It's a German Christmas movie, Psycho Santa, mixed with like Home Alone, but this came out before Home Alone. You've got like tributes for like Rambo and everything in here. It's a great little movie. It's a lot of fun.
We reviewed this last year, and I freaking loved it. It's one of my favorite Christmas horror movies now. Like, I can't believe I hadn't heard of it sooner. Now that it's getting an awesome release like that, I'm excited too. Like,
yeah.
I wasn't planning on buying no Blu-rays, but I'm gonna have to pick that one up. So
yeah, no kidding. So that one I'm definitely looking forward to. That's my top pick for next month that I'm really looking forward to. But also on top of that, you've got a movie by the name of Whodunit, Rest in Pieces, which is I know is one that people have been looking forward to in the Vinegar Syndrome community. Rest in Pieces has been one that people have been waiting for quite a while. There's Cemetery of Terror, Necromancer, which is a VSA release. Then you've got an AGFA title called Scary Tales that's coming out. You've got another Fun City edition movie that's coming out called I Start Counting. And then another one from a new label called Utopia, which actually has already sold out, is called Bloody Nose, Empty Pockets. They for this initial release, they only did 500, and it sold out within the first day.
My love life. Empty pocket.
Right?
got to get off them city streets, man.
But yeah, so next month, 8 titles in total that are being released, and holy God, they got some good, decent ones it looks like that are coming out.
They better, because December is going to suck.
Yeah, well, I mean, December, they've only got the erotic stuff going on in December, so yeah,
it sucks.
right?
Smut, that's all they got in December.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas time, let's sell porn only.
But on top of that, they also touched on Black Friday, because that's going to be coming up. And obviously, the halfway to Black Friday and the Black Friday sales are their biggest times for Vinegar Syndrome. They said September 25th is when they're going to be doing their pre-order flash sale. So that's when they're going to be doing that. And they said they'll have more info in the coming weeks for regarding what they're going to be doing to kind of hint at things that are coming up. So they're going to be talking about the much speculated VSU line that they're coming out with. So that's going to be talked about over the next few weeks. They do have 2 surprise titles that they're going to be talking about, and VSA titles. So basically this Flash pre-sale is going to be 7 releases in total that they're going to be doing on September 25th. So that's something to kind of look forward to. And I'm really excited to see what they're going to be doing for the Black Friday sale. That's going to be I'm really looking forward to it.
I'm just waiting for Black Friday so I can just buy their subscription and be done.
Yep. Exactly.
I'm putting it on the PayPal credit and just being like, here you go.
Give me movies every month.
Yep.
I hear that.
Because I am just, some of the stuff they've been releasing, like you said, has been amazing. Especially The Caller, which we already briefly talked about. I freaking love that movie. They
Yep.
released that. I bought that. Spellcaster's coming out sometime this month. Freaking bought that. Necromancer, I freaking bought this morning. When I woke up. I was like, yep, I'm buying this. I'm just buying it. Plus, they got free shipping now on all U.S. orders.
Yes.
So, I mean,
and that's a big thing.
now, I don't know if that's because they're tired of combining orders or what whenever you buy something. But, yeah, it's great.
It could be, because they also said that they have some other announcements regarding shipping going forward that they're going to be talking about.
Yeah.
And I guess they're pretty excited about that. So it'll be interesting to see what they're going to be doing. I don't know if they're changing from doing like the USPS to something else. I don't know. That's just speculation. But they did say that they have some announcements coming up soon regarding how they're going to be handling shipping going forward, which should be exciting because they seem pretty pumped about it and they think everybody's going to be happy with it. So, because I know that's been kind of a big thing with regards to the shipping. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. But that's kind of all I had for news. Did you guys have any other things you guys wanted to touch on before we get into this review?
Yeah, I just was scrolling through Facebook yesterday, and I saw that Crystal Lake Memories is going to be re-releasing their bonus disc that they had for Kickstarter.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's going to be on sale from now until September 28th, and it's only $13, and I'm definitely going to be picking that up.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I'll pick that up too.
Oh, yeah.
It's got the
What
footage I've
that
been
is-
looking for the longest time.
What that disc is if you had bought the documentary from the official website back when the documentary came out, you got that bonus disc as part of it. And what that bonus is, because I have it and it's awesome. It's 4 hours of interviews that didn't make the actual documentary.
Okay.
So it's freaking awesome. And you can tell, like, because some of the interviews, they don't even have, like, they're just sitting in front of a green screen. They don't even have, like, an image on it. So it's stuff that, like, some of the stuff they're like, yeah, we're not using this in the original, or we're not using this in our final cut. So, I mean, it's good. It's cool that after all these years, they're bringing it back for, people who didn't get it.
Right.
And for such, $13 for 4 hours is not a bad deal. So,
No.
Especially when it's something that you never expected to ever come out again.
mm-hmm.
And you got from, I guess this episode comes out tomorrow, you got 2 weeks to come up with $13 to pay for it.
Right. That's
So
cool.
I'm sure somebody out there is going to be complaining. It was always supposed to be limited.
There's always the people that are like, I'm mad I can't be exclusive.
Exclusive.
The same thing happened with the box set. People were crying that their damn lithographs weren't going to be able to sell for $500.
Right.
Exactly. I said I've had the disc because I bought the disc. It came with it because I bought it from the website. But it's like 7 years ago, right, when the documentary came out.
Yeah, something like that.
Wow. And it came with it. I'm like, it's been 7 years. Why do people even give a crap? After 7 years, are you really now just planning to sell it? Or if you haven't already sold that disc or whatever your plans were, come on, get over it.
They're waiting to get their one last signature on it.
Right.
And then I can sell it for try to sell it for $1,000 or something like that.
Something like that.
Gosh.
Meanwhile, people who love the movies can access fun material.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're doing this. I personally, it should have been like that to begin with. They should have just included it with every copy. What's
Agreed.
the freaking deal?
Yeah.
You buy it from their official website or you bought it from Amazon or whatever. Who cares? You're still getting money for making the documentary and putting it out. So just have the freaking disc in there. I don't understand.
Yeah, I agree. It'll be nice to be able to see that because I definitely didn't get mine through the website because I got mine, I think, through Amazon, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
so,
me too.
I didn't even know about that. So that's good information. I appreciate that, Mark, because I'm going to pick that sucker up.
Yeah, I'm probably going to shoot over to the website and buy it. I'm looking at it's clmbonus.com is where you get it.
Okay. Sounds good. I'll have to check on that after we're done here. But anything else? I will take that as a no. All right. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and review 1995's The Ice Cream Man.
There are no bad days here at Wishing Well, only happy days.
Open wide, Gregory.
It is a happy day. Now he's out, rehabilitated with a brand new job.
Here you go.
I'd like to buy a gallon of your hard pack.
Next. You didn't say please.
Did you see little Roger Smith today?
He was at the park. Why?
We got a missing kid.
His ice cream has a secret ingredient.
What the hell is that ice cream dork doing out this late?
What's your favorite flavor?
Wow. Always so kind to the little children.
I brought you something special.
Ooh, sounds yummy.
There's something weird going on here.
Hiya, honey. Not every day is a happy day.
Spent the last 20 at some private clinic called Wishing Well for the Mentally Disturbed.
We believe in compassion. Shut up!
We're at the Wishing Well Hospital. Get some people down here quick.
No one leaves the Wishing Well. Doctor's orders.
Even with a head start, there's no escape. You can run, but you can't hide from the Ice Cream Man.
Let us pray.
Starring Olivia Hussey, Jan Michael Vincent, Sandal Bergman, David Naughton, David Warner, and Clint Howard as the Ice Cream Man.
This is gonna be fun.
All right, so The Ice Cream Man was released on May 9th, 1995 on home video. Directed by Norman Epstein, this had a budget of about $2 million, which isn't too bad for a direct-to-video movie. And actually, you can tell most of the budget went into the effects, which isn't a bad thing. Just a little bit of trivia regarding the movie. The movie was sponsored in part by Converse Shoe Company, which many of the characters end up wearing Converse shoes in the movie, obviously. And there's also an extraordinary number of shots of shoes throughout the entire film. Second little bit of trivia, Clint Howard, actually, when he would be on his way to set every day, as he was driving, he would be screaming and yelling at the top of his lungs to get that more gravelly voice that he used for the role of Gregory. So that was kind of interesting to kind of get in that tone that he wanted for the character. The scenes at the sanitarium were actually shot at an actual abandoned sanitarium in Pasadena. Moreover, the satanic drawings and graffiti that were on the walls of the sanitarium were actually graffiti that was done inside of the hospital. So that's kind of interesting, kind of using the set that you have there versus trying to make it look more decrepit and whatnot. One of the interesting things with this, and I can see where this probably could be, the first draft of the script was written in 3 days. Which, I mean, it's not the greatest movie in the world as it is. So, I mean, you can kind of tell.
I believe it.
And then one of the most obvious things is the character of Tuna. They try to make him look fat in the movie, and they put a fucking pillow in his.
Like, what's wrong with this fucking kid's clothes?
They wanted to show him lose weight at the end of the movie.
I was like, that was
no more ice cream for me, guys.
Watching this movie makes me not want to eat ice cream. I'll tell you that.
I tell you
not
what,
not from ice cream truck. Seeing the way he gets his hands all in that. No,
hell no.
And the bug.
I had another piece of trivia, man.
Yeah,
supermarket manager was the original host reporter from People's Court. So he had
oh wow
face if you ever watched that when you were a kid.
Okay, I didn't realize that. That's interesting.
Everybody knows the director. He used to direct adult movies, and I guess his wife is got a small part. She's the woman putting the lipstick on her, asking what color lipstick she should buy to the ice cream.
Oh, okay.
Buy a dozen. It looks great. Buy a dozen.
A couple things I want to touch on regarding the quotes, because I love some of these quotes in this movie, and almost all of them are by obviously Clint Howard's character. Like, my favorite quote of his that he does in this movie is, "You're going to learn you can't run from the ice cream man. You tell anybody I'm going to get your mom and dad." Oh no! I'm sorry. It was you little turds are gonna learn you can't run from the ice cream. So that one was pretty good. Also, obviously, the happy day quote. That was another one of his. And then one of the kids towards the end of the movie, when he was like, "Who's the Pied Piper now?" Ice cream dick. That was another good one.
I like the that's classified ice cream man. That's classified.
That was great. Oh man. That was actually Lee Major's son. I don't know if y'all knew that.
Yeah, I saw the name Lee Majors Jr. in there, or the second, or whatever the case may be, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
And his partner, the what's his name, John Michael Vincent, something like that. He was in the Airwolf TV show and Extra 2 and a bunch of other fucking films.
Airwolf, you're thinking of Airwolf.
Yeah. Oh my god!
A lot of recognizable faces, honestly.
Really? Yeah. No, that's for sure.
Hussey and David Naughton and David Warner.
Yep.
And even the little girl, man, like she's not famous, but I recognize her. Like she was in a couple of sitcoms back in the 90s.
Yep.
She was on a couple episodes of Boy Meets World and Home Improvement. So.
That's for sure. Yeah, it's definitely. I've seen her before too. One of the things with this movie, and I was talking to Mark about this last night, is that because of it being like a direct to video movie, and because they use such shitty like free royalty free music for the movie, it made it feel like a more adult episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark to me.
Wasn't this movie directed by a guy who directed porn for a living?
Yeah.
So there you go. I mean, of course it's going to sound adult. He probably had a little Casio keyboard in his truck or van and is just like banging it out after each day of shooting, editing.
And then writing some.
But
boy, I got quiet fast. No wonder Vinegar Syndrome released this. It's got porn ties to it. Yeah, and I love you, Vinegar Syndrome. I'm just joking.
This was a first watch for me, and there in the beginning, and for a good bit through the movie, I thought they were going to, cross the line and have him like hack up a kid or something. And the whole time, and it didn't go that route, and
I like how
part
they
of it
at first, then you end up seeing that kid, and you're like, okay, that wasn't his eyeball and his face in the eyes.
Right. and I like that they didn't like slaughter a kid on screen, and
right.
I thought it would have been a little more dark if they had him like at least doing more than just snatching the kids, but they kept it. It seemed like it was a little more tame, like you said, like an Are You Afraid of the Dark kind of thing.
Yeah,
I
which
think
isn't a bad thing.
Should be for like a PG-13 rating or something like that.
Yeah, that's what originally they were shooting for, and I know that like in one of the earlier drafts of the movie too, it was supposed to be kind of a parody of like horror movies too, even though it kind of became unintentionally funny, obviously in the later drafts, and just because it's so outlandish and just so weird that it just kind of became funny afterwards. And obviously it's got a cult following now. So, I mean, it's definitely got its audience. It's definitely not a movie for everybody though. I mean, it's such a weird movie. I mean, I had fun with it.
I'd say it has the greatest puppet show I've ever seen in my life.
That was so good. Oh, I love that with the two heads towards the end. That was so good.
I guess two heads aren't better than one.
Yeah, I really like Olivia Hussey's character in this. I thought she was funny.
I always just like Olivia Hussey.
Well, so do I. But they downplayed her in this, but her character was she seemed just as crazy.
Typical,
she was
typical
supposed to be
you.
rising.
It's just typical you guys like a hussy.
Can't help it, Ted. I'm full of sin.
Filthy hussy.
Poor Gregory.
Gregory wins hide and seek.
Yes, he does.
Oh, and he's probably, I'd say, the best gardener I've ever seen because those flowers were gorgeous.
Yeah, I got confused. I was like, oh, okay.
Right.
I chop up cops and use them for fertilizer.
Yeah,
that was so good.
Yeah, Clint or Gregory, whatever.
I'm sorry, Ice Cream Man. We didn't find anything. Oh, fuck you, dude. You just tore my place up.
Cops in this town definitely weren't of A+ material.
No, man. Sure. That cop was fucking covered in ice cream. His uniform was ruined.
They look like two kids going in to fuck a place up, not two.
Yeah,
cops.
they did.
Right?
And then they didn't find the only hidden wall because that's what they were looking for was hidden walls.
God, it's so good. Like, I don't know. It's just like this movie was kind of all over the place at the same time. One thing I did really like about the movie, like I said towards the beginning, was the effects. Especially like the head and the oversized ice cream cone. That was fucking great. Awesome. When he goes in on that lady and tells her to shush. Brings her that ice cream cone. That was so classic. After he put the waffle iron on the guy's face, and then decapitates him and does that. Oh, it's so good. I mean, overall, obviously the effects weren't incredible, but I mean, for being such a cheesy movie, I thought they were like perfect. Like, especially with like that fake like rubbery eyeball in the ice cream as the cop is like chewing on it. That was so good.
My wife was watching at that point and cringing.
I'll say I didn't like some things, like how they were in a well-lit fucking parking lot and the ice cream truck comes by and they're like, quick, duck, and they're just
right
in the open and he just doesn't see him.
Kind of stay in the same spot and don't even really
I didn't like Little Paul's character because it seemed like he was having fun and he was actually interested in what was going on. Like, it didn't seem like he was playing him to make him think he was interested. It seemed like he actually was. Like, he was really interested with stirring the ice cream.
And he turns on him, and then at the end, he's freaking crazy again.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like he kept making out-of-character decisions, and I don't know. I didn't care for that part.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this actually... Oh, go ahead, man. I don't want to cut you off.
I was going to start a whole nother point, so you can go ahead.
I felt like this movie, if it could have actually been a little bit better if they'd have changed what they did, is because for a second there, it looked like he possibly wasn't killing the kids, but it was obvious he was killing somebody.
Right? Yeah.
It would have been better if he wasn't killing the kids and actually killing the bad people, because he killed quite a few people that weren't really the best people. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought that.
What if he just slightly reworked this as Maniac 2, like the Mr. Robbie short, but instead of a children's entertainer, he's an ice cream man?
Yeah.
Killing abusive parents and whatnot. I mean, that could work.
Because then they never even really touched on the preacher and his wife, who obviously has some more than just their regular religion. Like, I mean, he's standing up there, like his hands are like he's having a stigmata and shit in his hands.
Yeah, he's got the blood on his hands, and then his wife was foaming from the mouth.
I guess he's supposed to be speaking the Archangel Gabriel. I mean, I know people speak tongue, but that seemed like it was much farther than
right.
Speaking.
Yeah, I thought she was like sick or something at first. Like he was.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But that's when he was like, "Why are you going? The Archangel Gabriel is speaking through your mom."
That's when I get up and I'm like, "Man, angels aren't talking to you."
Right?
That ain't Gabriel.
Jeez.
It's Gangrel or some other thing.
Sean, you know that Gangrel really is. He's with what's his face? Because they both killed Chris Benoit together.
I knew it.
All the stupid conspiracy theories.
Right. Oh,
That's actually a question everybody keeps asking. Is Gangrel really a cultist? No, he's not. Gosh. It's a freaking character for wrestling.
I believe Kevin Sullivan before Gangrel, and I don't think Kevin Sullivan is either. He was just a hell of a freaking
good actor.
Right.
He knew to press your buttons.
Say the scene where the cops go to the hospital, I thought that could have been a lot better. I think just a little bit of lighting change and maybe a little bit of, I don't know. It seemed like it was weird. I felt like I was watching somebody walk through a haunted house.
I see where you're going with that. Yeah.
Cause they were like, they had like the no touch rule. It felt like,
yep.
And they were just walking, and there was people running around and standing there doing weird shit.
To start shooting them or something, he pulled out his gun. I was like, shoot one of them, dude! Like, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah, I feel like a little bit of lighting or a little smoke effects or something in there would have made it a whole lot creepier, because it was so well lit and you could see everything, and they weren't scary at all. Actually, I thought the doctor was more scary than any of them.
Right. I agree. Yeah, definitely. I think with the lighting, it should have been a little bit darker, definitely more moody. They could have put some gels on or something to kind of maybe change the coloring a little bit just to make it a little more sinister looking, because it definitely looked kind of just like, and obviously, once again, we know it's direct to video. It's not meant to be some huge blockbuster movie. But, lighting doesn't take much to make things look good. And they really could have taken a little bit more time just to make it look better. And they could have did it. I mean, they should have had the resources to do it. And that was definitely one of the things where I felt it fell short, too, was that hospital scene. Because they could have made that really kind of creepy and spooky. And it definitely just wasn't that.
I just wasn't interested. I wanted that scene to end. I thought it was fucking stupid. And... if they'd have done a little bit more, it wouldn't have felt so long, because, I was just bored with it.
Yeah. I agree. That was definitely a...
He had $2 million. How much was Troma spending on movies? I don't want to hear all them excuses.
500,000 most of the time.
I mean, I feel like Terrifier was like 50 or 60 grand or something like that.
Yeah.
And I know just from the little bit of stuff I've done, and like lighting is important as hell, but it's, if you just take a few minutes, it's not that hard to do right.
It's all about planning, boys and girls.
And it doesn't cost any more if you already have the equipment.
Yeah. That's very true. It's all about planning, and it just kind of seemed like, ooh, we found this place, let's go shoot here really quick. That's kind of what it felt like.
And the fact that it was already painted like that on, that was a great location for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just didn't execute well.
Welcome to hell.
Right.
I couldn't believe when I read that. It was like they didn't have to decorate it. It was already like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Missed opportunity there. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of missed opportunities in this movie, but I mean, overall, it's definitely a fun movie.
Yeah.
It would have been interesting, because I know a while back they did like an Indiegogo or Kickstarter or something to try to get Ice Cream Man 2. Sunday Bloody Sunday to be made, and that never made the goal, and Clint Howard was completely behind it and everything. That could have been so much fun if they could have gotten that made and kind of continue that story with his character and whatnot. And
I read they
back.
officially didn't give up. They just...
No, they haven't.
They thought about doing another Kickstarter, maybe trying to source funds from another way.
Yeah. It could be interesting. It would be interesting to revisit the character this many years later, whether he survived.
Garbage on freaking Netflix can get made, and y'all know what I'm talking about. I refuse to say its name.
Yeah.
If that can freaking get made and put on, I was about to say YouTube, on Netflix, then freaking Ice Cream Man 2 can get made. I mean, that's all a bunch of bull crap.
Agreed.
I would love an Ice Cream Man 2, just because Clint Howard would be a part of it.
Yeah. Clint's what made it work in the first place anyway.
Yep.
Yeah. If there was no Clint Howard in this movie, I would have hated it. And it's just, he's always in these B cult movies, and he's always just so fucking good. I remember, like, I think it was 2 years ago, Sean got me Evil Speak for Christmas, and that movie was fucking great.
Yeah, I love that. That's a
That movie was awesome.
Cooper Smith. Felt so sorry for him, and you freaking loved the revenge he got at the end.
Yeah.
You're like, just kill them all. Kill them all. They killed that little puppy. That puppy didn't deserve to die. Freaking kill him, Clint.
Right.
Kill them all. But, yeah. There's no reason why we can't get an Ice Cream Man, too.
I agree.
If the freaking garbage on Netflix can get made, so can Ice Cream Man, too.
I'm 100% behind that.
I think we got to talk about that chase scene that led up to the puppet show and everything else, because that was like a whole climax. That was probably, that whole section up to the end of the movie was probably my favorite part of the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
He just comes out of his own. It seems like that's where he really fucking snapped.
Yeah.
Because he's coming up with all these great one-liners and quips, and he's chasing these kids, and he's got the fucking puppets.
He finally stopped giving a fuck and was just like, I'm killing these bitches. I ain't worried about nothing. It's Ice Cream Man time. Of course, this is kind of backtrack, man. I love the very opening of the movie, how there was a mob hit on an Ice Cream Man.
Yes.
Yeah, that was great. And I love how they, just to show that it was like in the past, it was all in black and white.
Yeah. Right.
Classic.
That's so good. If you ever want to show anything in the past, just put it in black and white and everything's good. God. Oh, man. And what was I thinking about with regards to this? The whole, like, they pulled the whole Friday the 13th part 2 thing. When the kid takes the picture of the original Ice Cream Man off the wall and puts the flashlight on it and has Clint follow him into the ice cream factory.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's so fucking dumb. That's so stupid.
Oh, how about when I think it's Tuna's brother's the one that wanted to be the cop, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Tuna's brother went in to look for him, and he's walking by, and there's all these pictures. And then the Ice Cream Man's standing there, and he's holding a picture frame around his face.
He's good at hide and seek.
Yeah. Hide and seek champion.
I fucking died laughing when I saw this.
God.
Sanitarium.
And that was where the whole chase scene started, because he came out dressed like his brother.
Yep.
But did his brother die?
I'm guessing so, because we don't see him for the rest of the movie.
That's why you see him go in to look, and then you just see Ice Cream Man come out in his clothes. So I just made the assumption he got him.
Yeah.
Or at least stole his jacket and hat.
That's my assumption, at least. I think he's dead. But, yeah, I mean...
Serve and protect my ass.
Oh, it's so good.
His name is Tuna. It was the other guys, bro. He was making fun of Tuna. Well, anyway, I just realized that.
Oh, man. This movie is definitely not for everybody, though. I mean, I had fun with it. It was such a fun movie for me just because of how bad it is. And just how the cheesiness of it, I just fucking loved. It's definitely one, because I've seen it once before this, and I remember not liking it at first, but I was definitely younger. I think it was like the late 90s the last time I saw it, so it's been over 20 years. But
same here.
It's rewatching it now though, I fucking loved it just because my tastes have changed so much, and I've grown to love that cheesy, just tongue-in-cheek kind of horror movies. I fucking love this movie. It's so good. It's so bad but good.
I want to know what his soup ladles are made out of that he can knock a cop out with them and they don't wake up until the next day.
Right?
Straight fucking commando at that point.
But I mean, the ladle didn't bend or anything.
No. Straight up iron or something. Boom. Oh, so good. But all right. Well then, any other points you guys want to talk about regarding the movie?
No, I think I covered everything.
All right. Well then, what would you guys rate this movie then, if you're gonna rate it out of 5?
I'm gonna give it a 2.5. I enjoy parts of this movie. Like, I mean, it's got some funny quotes, and I love Clint Howard and Olivia Hussey in this. I feel like they might have been, I don't know. I felt like maybe they spent too much money on what they thought was star power or something. I don't know, man. Like, there's just some things missing from it for me. But, you know, it's not, I mean, it's a terrible movie, but it's not the worst. So,
yeah.
It makes me chuckle. Like I said, I love Clint Howard and Olivia Hussey. So I'll give it 2.5, maybe 3 stars just because Clint Howard's great. So
okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you like cheese and if you like watching a horror movie that you know is not, this isn't an Oscar-winning movie. You're not gonna go in and be terrified about this or have your mind blown. But if you like cheese and stuff like that, you like this movie. Like Sean, there's quite a few things about it that I didn't like, but I still have fun with it and it makes me laugh. And I think for me, it's a solid 3 out of 5. I'd say it's good, not great.
Okay. Sounds good. What about you, Ted?
I'll go with 2 out of 5 because of Clint.
Okay.
Pretty much everything. Pretty much because everything, what Sean said. For some funny quotes, but overall, I think if, like he said, spending a bunch of money on what they thought was star power. I mean, because in the early to mid 90s, I mean, did anybody really, really care about Olivia Hussey?
Not really.
So, I mean, but, it is what it is.
And kids usually make me like a movie more. I don't know. They were okay, but they're kind of flat, man, these kids.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So.
Definitely. Well, for me, like I said, I love this movie. It's not a great movie, and it's not going to be for everybody. This one's definitely going to get a 2 out of 5, 2.5 out of 5 for me, mostly because Clint Howard. I love Clint Howard. I've always loved Clint Howard's characters. And, I mean, overall, it's like the music is terrible in this movie. It's, like I said in the beginning, it's like an overly long adult version of Are You Afraid of the Dark? And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but this is definitely not a movie I'm going to go back and watch every year or even every month or anything like that. But I mean, I don't mind going back to revisit this probably every once in a while now that I've seen it again 20 years later with more mature eyes. But it's I mean, it is what it is. It's not a good movie, but it's so bad it makes it good, in my opinion. So that's why I got to give it a 2.5 out of 5. But as always, we would love to know what you guys think. You can always reach out to us through our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, all at CLS Podcast. We definitely appreciate you guys checking out this week's episode. And continuing next week and the final week of September, we have 2 more movies to go over regarding food-based horror movies to review. Next week is going to be 1983's Microwave Massacre, which is one of my guilty pleasures. I fucking love that movie. And then we're going to end. It's great. It's fucking great. And if you haven't seen it, I highly suggest checking it out. But then we're also going to end this month off with a classic, The Stuff. I'm really looking forward to that, revisiting that. Highly suggest checking that one out too. So it's going to be a good rest of the month. And then going into October, we've got some good movies picked up for October to go over. And we'll be excited to share that when the time comes. But until then, is there any final words of wisdom as we leave?
1 month till Friday box set.
Yes. Actually, exactly a month.
Yeah. Oh, man. I had already put it out of my mind because I just didn't want to build up the anticipation. And now I'm thinking about it again. I'd say if you guys have, like, in your gut, you feel these dreams and aspirations, and you you have to be a police officer. What I tell you is just get a gun and the badge will follow.
Damn straight.
Oh my god.
That was one of my favorite lines.
Yeah.
I got the gun.
That's all you need is just to get the gun. All right. Well, if there's nothing else, we appreciate you guys checking out this week's episode, and we will see you next week.
Thanks for joining us today for the CLS Podcast. Check us out at www.clspodcast.com or join in the conversation on social media with the hashtag CLS Podcast. Until next time, stay safe, campers.